Speaking with you, Chandan. Have a great day. Well, let's analyze some more numbers that came through in the FMCG space in the last 24 hours. HUL and Nestle both reported a largely decent set of numbers. In fact, Nestle's numbers stood out. It was a healthy double-digit growth in the domestic business. The margins, give and take all the raw material pressures, have been holding above 24%. Abneesh Roy, the Executive Director, Institutional Equities at Edelweiss Securities, joins us now. Abneesh, hi, good morning. What do you do with the Nestle stock now after this decent set of numbers?
Yesterday, two multinational companies came out with results. The headline numbers clearly met our expectation. We had cautioned that some of the industry data which was coming, that FMCG is growing 20-30%. We thought that that's quite optimistic. If you see Nestle's different category growth, most of them have been in the double digit. So Nestle has been one of the most consistent.
Okay.
I think the lines are acting up this morning. We'll try and reconnect with Abneesh on that. But I still had my eye on lever, and right now it's pulled back. Lever is absolutely flat in the pre-open session for the time being, from that initial tip down. Abneesh, if you can hear us, do complete your point on Nestle and then tell us about lever as well. That's the big question, right? Do you buy this dip, though they're saying margin pressure is going to continue? Do you buy the dip, or is it the time to get a little cautious?
No, the EBITDA margin compression for both HUL and Nestle has been quite limited. So HUL saw just 46 bips kind of a EBITDA margin compression, and Nestle also hardly 85 bips. So what these companies are doing, they have cut down on the advertising spend intensity a bit. They are quite aggressive in terms of promotions. So I would say some of the froth in the valuation has come down. HUL is down around 11% from peak. So maybe 2-3% more correction can happen on a bad day. But these are defensive stocks also. And as out-of-home consumption comes back, discretionary comes back with 5-6%, 7% price hike, I will say most of the concerns on gross margin and pricing power is behind. We need to monitor now rural growth. So rural growth, HUL has done a robust growth in rural, but Nielsen is pointing towards a big slowdown in rural. We don't think there is going to be a big slowdown, but urban growth clearly will revive. So we will keep a watch on rural growth, but definitely out-of-home consumption, discretionary consumption will see a good comeback. So we are positive on HUL and Nestle both.
Okay, positive on HUL and Nestle both. With the amount of coffee that people were consuming during the lockdown, I think they've gotten used to that, right? Perhaps a big surge in Nescafe Gold sales. But I just wanted to point out, on Reliance Retail, if you've tracked the, latest there, the numbers come out on Friday, Reliance Industries, and within that, the retail piece is expected to be the strongest because of a recovery now that the economy has opened up. There's also this Ritu Kumar deal that they have signed. Anything on that front that you'd want to highlight?
Yeah, three key things. So if you see even Avenue Supermart results and the way stock has done well, let us ignore last 2 days. It's been a mayhem in the market. If you see even Titan, exactly same thing, the review commentary and the way stock has done well. So definitely retail stocks will see one of the highest growth given a very soft base, pent-up demand definitely being there. Also, to your point on acquisition by Reliance and Aditya Birla Fashion on some of these luxury retailers, I think it makes a lot of sense. India is on the cusp of very high growth in the premium and discretionary. Second, some of these brands beyond the threshold, it's very difficult for them to expand because you would need to invest in the omni and the e-commerce bit. Also, in terms of expanding to so many cities, you will need the balance sheet strength. So I think it's a brilliant strategy with Aditya Birla Fashion and Reliance Retail to acquire all these premium brands, and they can definitely scale up much faster when they'll be having in their ecosystem.
Abneesh, I just want to go back to lever for a second. Aren't you perturbed by the miss on the volume growth? Just 4%. And the reason I ask you this is also, look at what's happening. You yourself mentioned there's a lot of thrust on discretionary. Perhaps consumers are tired of spending on, their own personal sort of hygiene and home care and all that. They want to spend more. So, the sales that we're getting in Titan, for instance, and a lot of the other discretionary plays, could that not become an overhang with severe price hikes on some of the staple stocks?
So one is price hike is 7%, and these are daily consumption. So there are 2 rupee price point, 5 rupee price point, 20 rupee price point. So it's not a very high ticket item. That's one very strong thing. Second is HUL itself has got a big discretionary portfolio. So the skincare and the health The HFD GSK has seen a double-digit volume growth. So I would say that if you analyze the number, discretionary segment of HUL is still seeing a decline of 2%. So that should come back very strongly in Q3 and Q4. It had declined 24%, in fact, in Q1. So to that extent, these companies do have a discretionary portfolio. Coming back to the volume growth question, if you see the hygiene part, sanitizers, hand wash did disappoint, and packaged food, sauce and jams definitely disappointed. And tea, because of the Tamil Nadu issue of the PDS, that also disappointed. So if you dissect the numbers, most part of the HUL and Nestle has grown high single digit to double digit, I would say.
Okay, we will leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining us and giving us your views. By the way, the pre-opening round has settled flat with a positive bias, but there is lots happening beneath the surface. IRCTC in pre-opening is once again down 10%. Tata Power is down about 4% or so. So looks like these momentum boys that have given big gains could perhaps be in for some profit taking. At least that's what the pre-opening rates are suggesting. HUL, the street definitely likes the earnings. Not just that, but the management saying that the operating environment has improved progressively post the second wave. So there's some follow-on buying over there. I would like to see the charts of L&T Tech because the guidance has been raised there. Very good numbers. So let's see how that one is reacting to numbers. L&T Tech up almost about 5%. And Reliance Industries comes out with numbers on Friday. That one has been moving from strength to strength.